Hey girl, hey, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Misha. Thank you guys for joining me yet again for another review. We are back with a brand new review for Married to Medicine, Season 9, Episode 3. If you are new here, then welcome. I give lighthearted reviews with a little bit of laughter and a little bit of shade and a whole lot of detail. If you're back for a second or third time, then welcome back. Y'all, please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel if you get anything out of the content. Now, child, let's get into it if we're going to get into it. When the episode first opens up, we see Anila and Dr. Kieran. They're at home with their daughter talking about a spelling bee, getting their Aquila and the bee on. Honey, Anila finally got a pot of water for her own kids, child. Dr. Heavenly working on a patient, and Symone and Quad are going on a friend date. So Symone walks in and she's telling us in the confessional that she's happy that Quad is actually on time, honey, because y'all know Miss Quad don't know nothing about no time, okay? But I feel like now it's the Monty in her. You know, when you got a kid, honey, you got to get up at a certain time, go to sleep at a certain time. You got to have schedules and whatnot. So I think it's making Quad a little bit better. So they sit down, they start talking, and Quad starts filling her in on how life has basically changed for her. So she's telling Symone that her nephew Mason wants to keep tabs on her. She was like, baby, he is calling me like, look, call me when you get home. Call me when you get to the light. Honey, call me when you leave home. And she was like, I ain't never let no man control me except this little 6-year-old. And y'all know what I was thinking, though? He's afraid. Like, he's afraid that she might not come back. He lost his dad so suddenly. And so he's attached to Quad. So he just wants to make sure she's okay. He wants to make sure that she comes back. So I understand that. So they're talking and everything. And honey, join the club, okay? Because my son is the exact same way. The exact same way. Like, Mommy, when are you coming back? I'm like, child, I ain't never left, honey. I've been with you for 2 straight years, okay? The quarantine is quarantining me. Honey, I need to get out. Moving forward. So then Symone fills Quad in on Miles and how he has a girlfriend now and her name is Andrea. So Quad said, oh, okay, Andrea. Symone said, no, Andrea. Quad said, yeah, Andrea. Look, Symone said, no, okay, you're holding on to the Drea. Let the Drea go. It's just Andrea. So baby Quad gonna say in her confessional, well, child, look, I knew some black girls in the hood named Andrea and Andrea, honey. I mean, let's just say it's whatever her mama say. I know that's right. I think they're spelled differently though. Like Andrea is IA and Andrea is EA. So, I mean, there's that. In the next scene, Toya gets a visit from Contestant. So they buddy this season, honey. Okay. Toya's in the house cutting some flowers, talking about she's doing some self-care. Toya, all you do is for self, okay? You self-care every season I've seen you on here. But girl, go and set yourself off. So Toya and Contessa, they go outside to have a little drink, and they're talking. So they start talking about how Dr. Heavenly is always talking about them on her YouTube channel. And Contessa said, you know what? Maybe we should do an intervention. So Toya was like, that's a good idea, but let's call Symone. So they call Symone. Hello. Hey girl, we're thinking about doing an intervention, okay? We have had enough of Heavenly. Plus, we need to get some storylines going. So there's that. So they called Symone and they talking, right? And they told her that basically they're going to create a highlight reel of all the mess that Heavenly says on YouTube and then tell her how it hurts them. So Symone was like, you know what? Heavenly is like a bull in a china shop. She will give you a fake apology, then she gonna turn around and do it the same exact way she did last time, just like Groundhog's Day. And again, like she said last episode, I agree with that. Heavenly does repeat the same thing over and over and over again, but the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So why do y'all engage Heavenly if y'all know she gonna do that? Child, anyway, and Heavenly don't care what she say. Okay, she never means any of those apologies, but Contessa is doing this, I feel, to divert from talking about Scott, because I feel like she gave us so much of their business last season, and now this season is just hush. Girl, we were all going through the trenches with you. We were mad as hell. You need to go back and listen to my reviews from last season. Girl, I was pissed for you. I felt like you were not being treated fairly, and if y'all noticed, we really ain't seen much of Scott this season. I think after all that unfolded, the two of them just decided to keep their business off of the TV. That's what I think. Moving forward. Child, it's gonna be a fool. Over at Dr. Jackie's office, she's talking to one of her patients, and she's talking to her about the velamentous. So the velamentous cord is not positioned properly so that the baby can receive nourishment from the mom. And she's talking to her about that. So they're discussing the what ifs if Dr. Jackie can't make it to her delivery. So she was like, listen, I want you to ask questions. I want you to advocate for yourself. And she tells us that Black women and their mortality rate before and after birth is very alarming. She said we die 3 to 5 times more before and after birth than any other race. And y'all know what I love about this show? What I love about this show is how it has stayed true to showing them working. I really appreciate that. Yeah, we get the drama, but for those that are not drama filled, we get to see them in action. And the fact that she's letting it be known that us as Black women will die at childbirth at a higher rate than any other race, we need to hear that. We need to know that. I love how Dr. Jackie makes sure that her patients are well equipped in her absence. Because let me tell you something. I insisted on a Black OBGYN. I insisted. Honey, I did not care what they had going on. I didn't care if they had to outsource me to another city outside of Houston. I refused to give birth outside of a Black team. Because you know what? This was my first childbirth. I already was high risk. There was a lot of things going on with me when I was pregnant with my son. I was paralyzed from the waist down. It was a lot going on. Okay. And I just needed to make sure that I was going to be taken care of. And child, just listening to that just really gave me chills. But I love how Dr. Jackie is telling her, listen, girl, ask the questions. I don't care what they telling you. If they tell you they got to break your water, why are you breaking my water right now? What is that going to do? Oh, I need to have an emergency C-section. Why? Why can't I push? Because they'll push you in there for that C-section in a minute, child. Anywho, I love this scene. Just for the mere fact that she gave us some nuggets and some things to hold on to. Moving forward. In the next scene, Anila and Dr. Kieran take the children in because, child, it's time to break the news to them that Miss Gomez is moving back to Houston. So the kids are in there and she's like, yeah, well, Miss Gomez has to leave. She's going back to Houston. And her son said, what about my pinto beans? Oh, baby. Anila can't even make the baby no pinto beans. These kids are like, look, I want her to stay. I feel like Anila put that son up to asking about them beans, though. I'm just kidding. But I feel bad for them babies, honey, because they have gotten so attached to her. When you with somebody every day and then all of a sudden they're just snatched from you at a young age, child. Them babies were going to be sad. The babies were so sad when Miss Gomez got in the car and she drove away because she was such a big part of their lives. And, it's really hard to find someone you can trust with your kids. But I'm sure her family misses her, so she had to go. But, child, the way she skirted out of there, skirt, honey, I was waiting for Miss Gomez to go up on 2 wheels. I was like, girl, slow down. Girl, slow down, honey. But, Miss Gomez, if you're still working in the Houston area, child, I need some help. Child, I'm just serious. I really need some help. Now, I ain't gonna treat you like Anila. Okay, when it's time for you to go, you can go ahead and go. But y'all, you just can't be trusting people with your children. In the next scene, Eugene is about to leave for work, right? Toya comes downstairs talking about the sleep number that they have and how that was the best investment ever. Y'all know what? I might need to look up a sleep number because I do not sleep well. I know this ain't about me, but I'm just saying. I'm gonna have to look into it. Anyway. So they talking about the sleep number and whatnot. And so she starts talking about what she's going to be doing on her fun afternoon. Meanwhile, Eugene is like, well, I got to work till 10. She was like, you don't sound too happy about it. Why would he be happy about leaving at that time of the morning and coming back at 10 p.m.? Toya, sometimes I just really think Toya doesn't think. Why would he be happy about working all damn day? Girl, anyway. So he said, after C19, he's been working more clinical because he's not a director anymore. So he's doing more of that to make up for the money that he's lacking because he's not a director anymore. And that's probably part of the reason why they sold that house. And Toya ain't fooling me. So him and Toya go sit down for a minute. She's like, see, this is why I'm, on my self-care journey because you only always have a minute. I need some Toya time. I cannot stand when Toya does this. I really cannot stand that. He's exhausted. Why don't you ask him how he's doing? You always have Toya time. Every single season, Toya does this. And it pisses me off every time that she does it. He's like, I just feel like I'm walking in the mud. She's like, really? You feel like you're sinking? Yes, he's drowning in bills. The bills that you keep creating. That's why y'all keep moving every 5 minutes. So he tells her he needs to work less in the ER and have more fun. He's like, I really need to, get my life back. And although I think he doesn't mind Toya being a housewife because he wants to protect and provide for her, that's all fine and dandy. It's the selfishness in which she speaks to him. If you can be a housewife, girl, go on, get your zhuzh, honey. Who am I to hate? I would love to be in your position. But at the same time, if I know my husband is out there and he is providing for us, I got to make sure I'm taking care of him. Because, baby, if he go down, the ship is sinking. Okay, and so I don't need to just be worried about me. I need to be worried about everything that's going on, including my spouse. Like, Toya is just so selfish. He's burnt out because he's trying to keep y'all afloat alone. And I'm trying to figure out how much money is Married to Medicine paying Toya. Honey, I know that ain't none of my business, but baby, you need to help your husband. Every season, you get to complaining and you get to moving. Moving forward. In the next scene, Symone and Cecil go for lunch with Omarosa. And child, not Omarosa. So they're sitting with her to get advice on a book deal because, she's done it. So while they're at lunch, Michael calls. Oh, I miss Michael. Hey, Michael. So he's on the phone with Omarosa, honey, shooting the breeze and whatnot. And Symone said when people get to know that they know Omarosa before she worked on Apprentice and worked in the White House, they have to tell people that she's actually a good person. They're like, she's cool. Okay, you just have to get to know her. Because her name makes people go silent. Honey, I know it does. So Cecil was like, yeah, we don't kick people out of our lives because of their political views. Okay. So they're talking to her about their book and how they beat the odds because both of them came from broken homes, divorced parents, and they're trying to do something a little bit different. And I am interested to see what little nuggets they're going to drop. Because, you have to have something after being married 25 years. It's got to be something there that can help somebody. So, I'm interested to read it. I don't know about Omarosa, honey, but I'm here for the book and whatnot. In the next scene, Contestant in this play wig with no part is getting ready to ambush Heavenly. Ooh, child, this is finna be a fool. Do y'all hear me? So Toya and Symone, they show up. Toya, I like that hair, girl. That's cute. I like that. That is really cute. So Toya gets there first, and Contessa tells her that they're going to take everybody's phone. So Toya is like, oh, okay, well, I got 2 phones. Honey, she said she got 2 phones. Ma'am, why do you have 2 phones? Why? You don't even have 1 job. Girl, let me find out. What are you doing with 2 phones? What is the need for that? So Anila arrives, right? Because now it's Contessa, Toya, Symone, and Anila. Anila arrives and Toya tells her to put her phone in the bucket. So, Anila was kind of like, what? Why? But she went ahead and did it, right? So then Miss Quad arrives and Toya tells her to put her phone in the bucket. She's like, what? For what? Why would I put my phone in the bucket? She's like, where y'all phones at? And that's what I was wondering, honey. If y'all gonna tell them to put their phones in there, everybody put their phones in. So she was like, honey, what kind of scheme is this? Child, one that Todd set up to come at y'all with the bush. Okay. So Quad was like, no, ma'am. I'm not about to put my phone in that bucket. Ain't happening, Captain. So she left. So Toya gonna go back inside. Talking about, yeah, Quad left because she didn't want to put her phone in the bucket. So I said, if you don't want to put your phone in there, then you can just go ahead and leave. So then Symone and Contessa get up and run behind Quad like, girl, you ain't got to go, honey. We should have never sent Toya to the door, child. Toya making rules in somebody else's house. And Contessa, why don't you answer your own door? Like, you done got that comfortable with Toya and now she answering the front door? Girl, so Jackie comes. And Jackie's like, I'm not about to put my phone in that bucket because I am a medical doctor. The MRS MD doesn't understand what it means to be a real MD. Ooh, baby, catch it. Honey, catch that shade. I know that's right. Toya has no tact. Like, she's a whole doctor in these streets, girl. She has patients that can go into labor at any time. She does not have time to be playing with y'all. She says she gonna put the phone on the counter. But why does she have to put the phone in the bucket? She's on call, ma'am. So they all get there, right? So they go into the theater room and they're getting ready for Heavenly to be ambushed and whatnot. Now, what's ironic to me about this little speech that Contessa is giving is she's telling them that basically people mistreat you because you allow them to. Girl, okay. Moving forward. So she's like, this is an intervention for Heavenly's channel. This is not the right way to go about this. So Quad is like, oh, y'all are low down, honey. She gonna be pissed. She surely is gonna be pissed. So as she's telling them that, Heavenly at the door. Child, it's about to get good. So Toya is like, well, why you said we low down? Like, why are you saying that? Quad said, because she will see this as an ambush. So Toya is like, no, her YouTube channel is actually an ambush. Girl, what the hell is an ambush? Put it together. It's one word. It's ambush. Not as an ambush. So Heavenly comes in. She's like, oh, hey, y'all. Oh, my gosh, you look so pretty. Here goes Symone. But the prettiest one here is Heavenly. I'm like, child, it's so fake, child. So Contessa, she looks at her and she goes, girl, I like that hair. I like that wig. Contessa was like, yeah, you know where I got it from. So Heavenly goes, yeah, I know. I recognize that wig. Basically, she got that wig from Heavenly's beauty supply. Girl, way to support and whatnot. But what's the point of this wig if y'all just finna get ready to get into it? So baby, they sit down. And they was like, would you like a drink? She said, I want some Crown and Coke. Y'all remember when Heavenly used to carry around that coffee mug, talking about she was drinking coffee? I guess she done graduated to the solo cup and whatnot. So they hand her a Crown and Coke. Well, honey, they really hand her a Crown with a splash of Coke because it's about to be on. So they give her drink and they press play on the YouTube channel. So as they're playing it, Dr. Jackie looking stone-faced. Baby, they played the part about Quad, and Anila said, oh, okay, well, fillers will do that to you, because she was like a guest on Dr. Heavenly's channel, right? Baby, Quad looked at her. She said, bitch, I don't wear fillers. I'm the youngest and prettiest in here. Ooh, child, I know that's right, honey. Anila couldn't say nothing. Here go Anila. But I wear fillers. Yeah, you might wear fillers, honey, but Quad said, look, don't play with me. Built by God. Honey, y'all know Quad will let you know in a minute. Watch your mouth. Baby, Quad taking notes and whatnot, honey. She was like, let me get into it as I get into it, honey, because when I get ready to get into it with Heavenly, I don't want to miss a thing. So she over there writing down notes, paying attention. So Heavenly is cackling and laughing through the entire thing. Heavenly, this is not a joke to them. And, you know, this is the thing. Yes, Heavenly was answering the questions on the YouTube channel, okay, because I'm just trying to see it from a different perspective. It's the way in which she was answering the questions. There's a way to, you know, answer the question. Like if someone says, do you think Contessa was being abused? She could have simply said, I'm not sure because I'm not in their home. All I can go by is what I saw on the show. I'm learning just like you are. It's a way to answer. It's like Dr. Heavenly just says the first thing that comes out of her mouth. Like sometimes you have to think about things because you still have to be in these spaces with these women. And these YouTube people gonna be at their house, honey. They done started the mess and now you going on about your business. Like, I understand, you know, wanting to speak freely on your channel. I understand that. But when you become friends with people, that's where it gets a little fuzzy. See, that's why I be trying to keep my distance. Like, even with the Married at First Sight cast. Yeah, you know, they come and follow in the chat or whatever, but that cannot cloud my review. Okay? Just because you in the chat or just because you come into the comment section, I'ma still have to be me. That's why I don't want to befriend you, because I'm not going to want to talk badly about my friends. Okay? There's a difference. If I don't know you, then I'm going to let go and let have. But if I know you, it's different. So I think that's what they're trying to explain to Heavenly, child, but she ain't listening. So Heavenly is like, so this what you called me over here to do? This what you doing at your house now, Contessa? You ain't called me in 5 months. She really don't think she did anything wrong. So, I mean, I don't even know why y'all going through with this. So Toya was like, Heavenly, you trifling. So, child, you already know how Heavenly feel about Toya. They always fussing. So they start going back and forth. Heavenly is doubling down on what she said. She's like, I meant exactly what I said. Y'all all talk about each other, but I just said on a platform. Okay, Heavenly, but that don't make it right. I mean, but it is facts. Okay, all you heifers talk about each other behind each other's back. And Toya, don't think I forgot about that live you did and you was talking about everybody. And I don't see nobody doing no interventions for you. And you stay posting something on social media. A subliminal on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, let's just call a spade a spade. So then Contessa gets upset and she's like, my marriage is not a joke. So now they yelling back and forth and back, and they out in the hallway, and Heavenly is like trying to hug Contessa, and she's like, don't touch me. She was like, well, why did you wait till the camera started rolling to say something? Now, Heavenly claims that Contessa was at our house having a good old kiki and didn't have not now piece of a problem. As soon as the cameras came up, all of a sudden she had a problem with what Heavenly said on her YouTube channel. So Contessa is hollering, honey, but not a tear in sight. And everyone else is sitting in this theater room awkwardly. And Dr. Jackie is like, I feel like we should just let them handle it. I'm not going out there. I'm not getting in the middle of it. Let them handle it. Heavenly's defense is Contessa said it publicly. She's like, you mad at your husband. You are not mad at me. I couldn't be friends with Heavenly just off the strength of her laughing at me when I'm telling you I'm upset. Even though you think it's a good kiki, it ain't a good kiki to me. And I just feel like that's where they're coming from. And Contessa's still fussing. Dr. Symone is trying to get her to calm down. She yanks off this, Party City wig, child, and lays it down because she don't want to wear nothing that's coming from Heavenly. Jackie is out there talking to Heavenly, and she's trying to explain to her, you might think it's funny, but it hurts your friend. Heavenly doesn't want to hear it because she's like, listen, you put it out there. I was just answering questions. Still, Heavenly does not think she did anything wrong. Heavenly is pissed because she's like, Symone, you a flip-flopper. So she's up in arms at Symone as well. So they walking up the stairs and Heavenly is going off. So Quad was like, this was not effective. Like, I feel like this wasn't about getting through to Heavenly. It was about getting Heavenly. Now, I don't know, because I feel like they did want her to see exactly what it is that they see when they watch her YouTube channel and to see how she will react to it. And she just basically, laughed. I feel like Heavenly needed to see it back, but Contessa should have not only approached it differently, but she should have approached the situation before the cameras were rolling. That's what makes it suspicious to me. And to be honest, Contessa do all that hollering every season. She did that same thing with Toya last season when they went to sit down with Anila and her family. And y'all right back kikiing in each other's face. Y'all were mad, and you were mad with her about what she said about you and Scott, or about what she said about you not coming because of your dad. You were pissed at her about that. You vowed you wasn't finna mess with old low-down Toya. And here y'all go again. So, I just really don't understand what the issue is here, child. Heavenly ain't got no tact, okay? We all know that. That's the issue. The people wouldn't have no questions to ask, though, Contessa, had it not been on the show. It was a way to answer the questions, as I stated. Heavenly could have done things a lot differently, but it was already out there. So if it's out there, then people are going to address it. But I understand that you, as her friend, feel like she shouldn't have said nothing about your marriage, honey. Don't co-sign the bull, even though I told y'all about the bull. Ooh, honey, it's giving me a headache. Heavenly ain't gonna change, and that's that on that. That channel is going live right after this episode. So this was a waste. And that was the end of the episode. Baby, Heavenly done probably already got in that closet. I already got to talking, and the heifers done got mad all over again, child. Yeah, this episode was, it wasn't much. I think it's gonna heat up next episode, honey, because Eugene is getting into it with Dr. Kieran. And baby, Dr. Kieran don't say much, and Eugene hardly ever gets mad. Child, let's see what's gonna happen with that. Y'all comment down below and tell me exactly what you thought about this episode. I thought it was cute. It wasn't really much happening. They were here, they were there. Contessa's wig was everywhere. So, yeah. And that's that on that. Please don't hesitate to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay safe, stay blessed, spread love, not germs. Peace.